The poor performance in mathematics of grade 6 learners is a huge concern for the Department of Basic Education in South Africa. A study was conducted by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development in 2015. According to their report, South Africa's maths and education has again been shown to be among the worst in the world, rating second last according to the largest ever global school rankings. I talked to Mr. Mapanga, a grade 6 maths teacher in Cosmo City Primary School, about some of the obstacles experienced in teaching maths. He's been a teacher for 22 years now. What are the challenges teachers experience when teaching mathematics?
There are a number of challenges, but I will just mention a few which I think are very important. The first one is overcrowding. We have large sizes of classes. The second one is, this one is huge. Learners' behavior is also a problem because it takes a lot of our time trying to discipline these children so that they can pay attention to the subject or to the lesson. The other one is the shortage of teaching material, including equipment such as chairs and desks in some schools, not all the schools, because the government is trying hard to make sure that all those teaching material and equipment are provided to schools.
Okay, do you guys also do extra lessons for the students?
Yes, we do extra lessons, but because of this overcrowding, even those extra lessons are not effective.
Okay.
To a certain degree, some children get helped, but a lot of them as well do not benefit from this, especially those children who need individual attention. Where you have, like in my case, I'm teaching 4 sections of grade 6, and I have about 170 children that I'm teaching. In these 4 sections, if each section has 10 children that experience problems, it means I have 40 children that I have to provide extra lessons for, which is a lot of children for individual approach. And that's the problem.
Okay. What effects does the medium of instruction has in the performance of grade 6 mathematic learners whose first language differ from the language of learning and teaching?
The problem, as you know, that maths has its own language. There's a mathematical language which we do not use in the day-to-day life. So these children, in maths, we use English as the language of learning and teaching. So when it comes to teaching maths, a maths teacher who is teaching these children who are coming from different backgrounds, who have different home languages, the teacher has to first simplify the terms, mathematical terms. For instance, what is equivalent? What do we mean by a fraction has the same value as? What is the value in all of those things? So that takes a lot of time for the teacher and for the children to understand these mathematical languages. So it does have an effect, unlike where the child is using the English as his first language. So that child would understand a lot of new vocabulary words in English, and it makes it easy for that child to understand maths as compared to the child who speaks English as the second language.
Okay. How is parental involvement in children education? How is that?
Generally speaking, we do have parents who are very much involved in their children's education. But again, we also have those who are not at all involved. There are many reasons why they are not involved. Some would leave very early for work and would come very late. And they find it difficult, even if you invite them to come to school to discuss or to listen to teachers or to get involved in their children's challenges at school. So we do have those who are very much involved, but we still have children, parents who are not at all involved, who believe that teachers should do everything. Yeah, there are a couple of societal issues that may influence the children in maths. One of those, as we know, that the country is experiencing a lot of unemployment now, and we also know that there are a lot of orphans and vulnerable children in South Africa, and these children are staying with their relatives, and that has an effect in the child's mindset. Some are staying in informal settlement, where you find out that in one or under one roof there are more than 5-7 children in that house. So you'll find out the space at home is not conducive enough for the child to study because of the congestion and overcrowding even at home. The Department of Education is doing its best in many areas, but when it comes to providing enough classrooms, I think that's where they need to up their game. As we are speaking about overcrowding even today, and that's why I think they are not really taking charge in their responsibilities.
All stakeholders in the education sector should play their role so that the education that is provided to learners is of good quality. After all, the new generation is the next generation of South Africa.